Hi everyone and all my students. Pleasure to come back after a long back. I was busy in some other teaching assignments. So starting again these videos from your biology chapters. So this is for class 11, the anatomy of flowering plants. So we have to know about the internal structures and functions of these plants. So isn't it very interesting also for people who love flowers and plants, because sometimes we think that how they are made internally, how they are made up of, or what are the things inside. So this is all about that. Not in very detail, but the important ones have been covered. So the tissue system, which is very important in the organization of cell tissue, organs and organ system, the tissue plays a very, very pivotal role. So there can be three systems in plants, tissue systems. One is the epidermal system. It is comprising of the epidermis and the associated parts. Epidermis, a layer of protection, and it comprises of elongated and compactly arranged cells, mainly parenchymatous cells, which store food and also give support to the tissue. So parenchymatous cells are mostly there. Cytoplasm is very little inside, and the outermost or the uppermost layer of this epidermis is the cuticle, which is having the waxy, waterproof cells. See how these plants are being protected by excessive rains, water, etc. So there is a mechanism inside, that is a cuticle, which is having wax-like cells, which are waterproof. So they are preventing any kind of water loss, and also they're preventing the entry of excessive water inside. So see how this is interesting. So now this is a part of this epidermal system, this cuticle, and then on the epidermis, in the leaf, it's a very important part, that is the stomata. Stomata, through the stomata only, the gases exchange, the transpiration all taking place, and the guard cells, that the bean-shaped guard cells on the stomata, the both sides of the stomata, they are regulating the rate of transpiration and also the opening and closing of stomata. Since these guard cells are having chloroplast, that is, they are having chlorophyll, and photosynthesis is taking place, so what is happening? Lot of sugar molecules and other minerals are inside the guard cells, so the water concentration is getting less and less, and the concentration of the solution is increasing. So water from outside is entering into the guard cells, and the guard cells are swelling up. So that is opening the stomata, that is the space of the stomata, which is called stoma. And now when the reverse takes place, when water gets out from these guard cells, okay, then what will happen? The guard cells will shrink, and the opening of the stomata will also narrow down, and ultimately it will be closed. So this is how the guard cells regulate the opening and closing of the stomata, the pore through which all the gases exchange is taking place on the leaves, which is so important. Okay, carbon dioxide is entering for photosynthesis, water vapors are coming out through transpiration, excess water is lost through this, oxygen is also coming out, which is being produced by the photosynthesis. So all these gases exchange, how important is this, is very interesting to know. So this is the stomata, and the tissues around the stomata are also specialized tissues, and they are called the subsidiary cells. These subsidiary cells are also near the stomata, and the another thing about the guard cell is very interesting, that the guard cell wall, the outer wall, which is away from the stomatal opening, is thinner, and the inner wall of the guard cell, which is close to the stroma or the stomatal opening is thicker. So this is also an anatomical feature of the guard cells in the stomata. So like this, we can discuss about this stomata, and the stomata along with these subsidiary cells. Okay, the guard cells, subsidiary cells, they form the stomatal apparatus. So this is about the epidermal system, because they are all on the epidermis, the cuticle, the stomata, the guard cells, right, the subsidiary cells. So these are all comprising the epidermal system. Okay, epidermal tissue system. Now the other tissue system is the ground tissue system. All these parts, there is a ground tissue, which can be parenchymatous, which can be cholenchymatous, which can be, sclerenchymatous. So parenchyma, as you all know, are knowing now, that it is storing food, giving support to the plant. And also cholenchyma, why it is important, because whenever we bend a branch or a plant, this is interesting for people who want to know about the plants, how these teeny plants or the branches of the plants are bending and again they are coming back to their original position. So this is because of this cholenchyma tissue, because their cell wall is very thick and thicker at the corners. That is why they are providing elasticity and flexibility to the plant. So this is very, very interesting to know that how the plants are getting elasticity and flexibility because of which tissue. This is the cholenchyma tissue which is providing elasticity and flexibility to these plant parts. Okay. Now this sclerenchyma is the very tough and hard tissue forming all the hard parts of the plant. We may think that how these plants, how these dry fruits, how these other fruit, pulp of the fruit are having so hard, they are how they are so hard, very difficult to break also sometimes. These dry fruits, the guava, in the pulp, the guava seeds are there. It's very difficult to break those seeds by our teeth. So that is made up of the sclerenchyma tissues, because they are very hard. They are dead cells. Okay. So the stalk of the leaf, or the the midrib of the leaf, the veins of the leaf, okay, all these are made of these hard tissues which are sclerenchyma. So ground tissues, as will depend on the different parts. The ground tissue will be one of these tissues, or maybe mixed also in the stratified kind of tissues. So can separately also be there in plants. So this is the ground tissue. Okay, and in the leaf especially, there is a portion of the tissue which is having chloroplast. Okay, these are called the mesophyll. So mesophyll is the ground tissue in the leaf, because in this tissue only the chloroplast or the chlorophyll is there. So this is also very good to know that where actually the photosynthesis is taking place, the plants are preparing food on the leaves, that is okay, but in the mesophyll tissues, right? Now we come to the another tissue system, which is the vascular tissue system. Okay, in the tissues, the water, minerals, everything has to be transported, right? And prepared food has also to be distributed to all parts of the body. So which are the tissues responsible for this? These are the complex permanent tissues, which are xylem and phloem. Xylem is complex because it is made up of 4 tissues. Namely, they are the tracheids, xylem vessels, xylem parenchyma, xylem fiber. All are dead tissues except xylem parenchyma. So main conducting tissue here is xylem vessels and tracheids. So they are conducting the water from the soil, from the root to the shoot. And the force which is pulling up the xylem is the force created by transpiration. So it is called the transpiration pull, right? And it creates a suction force which pulls the water minerals upwards to the shoot system. So this is how the plants, the tall trees, 200 meters, 300 meters, how they are getting water minerals is very, very, wondering how they are getting. They are getting by the xylem, and xylem is a bundle, vascular bundle tissue, which is comprising of four tissues, and it is being pulled up by the transpiration pull that is occurring because of the loss of excess water that plants are losing, or this is happening through the stomata and the leaves. Excess water is lost, so there is a force created inside, which is pulling again. So this is so useful. The transpiration is so useful because it is pulling this bundle tissue, vascular bundle tissue, which is again, they're pulling the water and minerals upwards to the aerial parts of the tree. So this is also very, very important. And phloem is, as you all know, is distributing the food to all parts of the plant. And phloem is also a complex permanent tissue. It is made up of four tissues generally. The first one is the sheep tubes, which is the only conducting tube, only translocating tube. It is translocating the food from one part to other part, and the others are helping. Those are the companion tissues, the phloem parenchyma, phloem fiber. All are living except the phloem fibers, right, which is giving the mechanical strength. So phloem again is distributing food. So xylem and phloem has to be together. Maybe in arrangement, different arrangement. First arrangement can be that they are alternately arranged: one xylem, one phloem, one again xylem, again phloem. So this is naturally, the phloem is at the outer side and xylem is the inner side. Okay. So alternately they are arranged, but in stems and leaves mostly they are together. So that is called the conjoint. That is called the conjoint type. Conjoint type means they are together, but sometimes a cambium. Cambium is, as you all know, it is the lateral meristem, which is in between xylem and phloem in the conjoint type. So then it is open vascular bundle, because now since the meristematic tissue is dividing tissue is in between xylem and phloem, so the primary xylem can become primary xylem to secondary xylem, and phloem can also become primary phloem and then secondary phloem. So this is an open vascular bundle. But in the conjoint type, if the cambium is not there, then it is closed, because the primary and secondary xylem or phloem will not be formed. So this is a closed vascular bundle, right? So this is how these xylem and phloem are arranged. So this is the anatomical, the detail of the arrangements of xylem and phloem inside the plant, inside the different structures of the plant. So this is also very interesting to know that how these xylem and phloem are arranged or are located in the different plant parts. Okay. The conjoint vascular bundles usually have the phloem outside, as I said, and the xylem in the inner side. So these are the different details of the tissue system. So in my next part, I will talk about in the monocot plants and the dicot plants. So monocot plants, you must be aware that seeds having one cotyledon, and dicot means seeds having two cotyledons. So there we'll see how these anatomically, how the features, what are the features how the features are appearing in the leaves, in the stems, and also in the roots. Okay, in the next video. So thank you very much, and wish you all the best.